The Council of Vexithera had debated for 3 cycles before reaching their unanimous decision. The human colony on Kepler 442b had to be eliminated, and conventional warfare had proven inadequate. Ships destroyed, armies scattered, their finest warriors reduced to trembling wrecks who spoke in hushed whispers about the humans' eyes and the way they smiled while fighting. High Commander Zektar's mandibles clicked with satisfaction as he gazed upon their ultimate solution. In the reinforced containment chamber, a shadow maw prowled. 10 feet of pure predatory evolution, bioengineered over millennia to be the perfect killer. Its midnight black carapace gleamed under the harsh lights, 6 legs ending in razor-sharp talons that could slice through titanium. The creature's 4 eyes, each the size of a human fist, tracked movement with mechanical precision. Most terrifying of all was its intelligence. The shadow maw possessed the cunning of a tactical genius wrapped in the body of an apex predator. "Release it on the human settlement," Zektar commanded. "1 human survivor maximum. We need to send a message to their kind." The shadow maw was deployed under cover of Kepler 442b's perpetual storms. It moved through the colony's perimeter like liquid death, avoiding sensors with preternatural ease. The beast's target was specific: Dr. Sarah Chen, the human xenobiologist, whose research had somehow enabled her species to predict and counter every Vexithara military strategy. The creature found her in her laboratory, alone, working late into the night. Through the reinforced windows, it studied her, small, fragile, with none of the obvious physical advantages that made humans so inexplicably dangerous in combat. She wore a simple white coat over casual clothing, her dark hair tied back in a practical ponytail. The shadow maw's analytical mind cataloged her as easy prey. It flowed through the ventilation system, emerging silently behind her. Chen continued working, apparently oblivious to the 10 feet of death poised to strike. The shadow maw raised 1 massive claw, preparing to deliver a killing blow that would slice her in half. "I wondered when you'd show up," Chen said without turning around. "Coffee? I just made a fresh pot." The shadow maw froze, every instinct screaming contradictory commands. Prey didn't offer refreshments to predators. This violated every behavioral model in its extensive programming. Chen finally turned, and the beast saw her face clearly for the first time. She wasn't afraid. If anything, she looked pleased. Her eyes lit up with scientific curiosity as they traced the shadow maw's form. "Remarkable bioengineering," she murmured, stepping closer. The creature's combat subroutines demanded an attack, but something in her voice, gentle, respectful, genuinely interested, gave it pause. 6-limbed design suggests evolved from hexapodal stock, but those neural ridge patterns, artificially, enhanced intelligence, right? The shadow maw's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. No prey had ever analyzed its construction before. Usually they were too busy screaming. "I'm guessing you're here to kill me," Chen continued conversationally, moving to pour herself coffee. "The council probably sent you because their conventional forces keep having difficulties with humans. Can't say I blame them for trying something different." She sipped her coffee and studied the creature with academic fascination. "You know what I find interesting? You haven't attacked yet. That suggests either you're playing with your food, which would be wasteful and inefficient, or you're curious about me. Which are you?" The shadow maw's mind churned through thousands of tactical scenarios, none of which covered this situation. Its prey was studying it instead of fleeing. She spoke to it like an equal, not a monster. When she moved, it wasn't with the jerky panic of someone about to die, but with calm confidence. "May I?" Chen gestured toward the creature. "I'd love to examine your neural crown more closely. I've never seen cortical enhancement patterns like that." Against every instinct, the shadow maw found itself lowering its head. Chen's hands, warm, gentle, careful, traced the bioluminescent ridges along its skull. Her touch sent unfamiliar sensations through its nervous system. No one had ever touched it without fear or clinical detachment. "Beautiful work," she whispered. "But lonely, I bet. Enhanced intelligence without social structures, and that must be difficult." The shadow maw made a sound it had never made before. A low, almost plaintive rumble. I thought so. Chen smiled, and the expression transformed her face. You're not just a weapon, are you? You're a person. A very dangerous, very isolated person who's been told that killing is your only purpose. She continued stroking the neural ridges, and the shadow maw felt something crack open in its chest. Something it had never known was closed. When had anyone last shown it kindness? Had anyone ever? I have an idea, Chen said. What if instead of killing me, you stayed? I could use a research partner and you could use a friend. This colony has plenty of room, plenty of interesting work. We're studying the local ecosystem. I think you'd find it fascinating. The shadow maw's programming screamed at it to complete the mission. But louder than programming was a new voice, one that said it didn't have to be alone anymore. 3 days later, the Vexithara monitoring station detected their shadow maw's return beacon. High Commander Zektar rushed to the landing bay, expecting to see his perfect weapon returning triumphant, probably carrying the human's head as proof of success. Instead, the shadow maw emerged from its transport pod wearing something that made Zektar's 3 hearts stop beating. Around its neck was a bright red collar with a small tag that read, Felix, if found, please return to Dr. Sarah Chen, Kepler Colony. The creature looked content. Its usual predatory stalking had been replaced by something almost resembling a happy trot. Most disturbing of all, its fearsome mandibles were stretched in what could only be described as a smile. Report, Zektar commanded weakly. The shadow maw, Felix, tilted its head. Mission parameters have been updated. I am now Dr. Chen's research assistant and companion. She sends her regards and an invitation for peaceful diplomatic contact. You were supposed to kill her. Dr. Chen provided a more appealing alternative. Felix's 4 eyes sparkled with something that might have been amusement. She gave me a name, Commander. When was the last time you bothered to ask what I wanted to be called? That evening, as Felix settled into its new bed in Dr. Chen's laboratory, it reflected on the human concept of domestication. The Vexithara thought they had sent a Warbeast to kill a human. They were wrong on both counts. They had sent a person to meet another person. And sometimes, that changes everything.